As we roll into Sunday, folks, we are going to have ourselves a day. Cash and tickets is what we do here on the Breakin Ankle Show. What's going on, everybody? Hope you're having a wonderful Sunday. I am Guns Picks, and to the right of me is my co-host, my partner in crime for this college basketball show, Dabby Cab. What's going on, my friend? How you doing this Sunday?
Is my sound working? I should have checked it backstage. You can hear me
It
good?
works.
Hold on, I'm going to mute myself on purpose.
You're muted.
Was wrong. I knew something was wrong. But we're here, man. We're back. Beautiful Sunday. I don't have a ton of action. I know you do, though, and I still love talking about these games, so I'm excited to get into
it. Picks from Dave in the chat. Guns is... Just thought that was funny there. Is I got to give Markel a little bit of props. Time to get some money. All right. What's good, everybody? Mike, see you too, my guy. Let's go into the picks, though, because I have two picks for the 3 o'clock slate that I want to make sure I pump out here. These things are going
in like 15 minutes?
In like 15 minutes, these things are going to start. So let's get it on with the first game that comes up here. We're looking live into some East Coast action here. Well, a little bit more on the Indiana side, but we're talking Georgetown versus Butler, Hinkle Fieldhouse, Indianapolis, Indiana, and I'm going to be going with the dog on this one. Georgetown plus 5.5 as the play. Listen, Georgetown's lost 6 straight games overall straight up, but they've covered 5 out of those 6. So the team can cover, they just can't get the victories. Butler on the other side, 2-6 straight up in their last 8 games, 3-1 against the spread in their last 4. So they are playing reasonably well, but they're not getting the W's either. These two teams met on January 1st. With Butler winning the game 80-51, absolutely demolishing Georgetown as 4-point favorites. But now they're going back home, and they're only a 5-point favorite on this one. I felt like if this was a extreme movement to the Butler side, I would see a bigger, larger number, probably in the double digits, if it was going to be a Butler side. Also got to look at Georgetown in this one. 8-1 against the spread in their last 9 games overall, 5-0 against the spread in their last 5 road games, and 8-2 against the spread in their last 10 meetings. The road team covers. So Georgetown's a road team on this one. I'm going to be riding with the Georgetown side here. Give me the Hoyas plus 5.5 as a 1-unit play. What do you think about that play? Is that a good one?
I love it. If I seem distracted, I had to sign into the chat to tell Dave to suck it. So
there you go. You got to make sure you put Dave in his place. So that's what we're doing here on this Sunday version of the Breakin Ankle. So I got one more play in the 3 o'clock. Make sure I get this out. This starts off I'm seeing 11 minutes. So get on these plays while you're watching live. We're looking at ECU and SMU. Now this 2 really bad teams altogether. Probably nothing that no tournament aspirations for any of these teams, but I'm still going to be betting this game anyways. Moody Coliseum, Dallas, Texas, 3 p.m. And I'm going to be going SMU minus 6.5 as my play here, 1-unit play. Now, SMU, they're coming off back-to-back losses. They've lost 4 out of the last 5 games, but they've covered their last 3 games. So maybe we're seeing an SMU team that's kind of turning things around from the covering standpoint. ECU is coming off back-to-back wins straight up, including a nice little win over Cincinnati, 75-71 as 9.5-point home dogs. So they're playing a little bit of with some pep in their step, the highest of highs. And I always like to fade those teams in the next game because they usually are in big letdown spots. Now you got both these teams did go against each other on February 4th, with ECU winning the game 77-72 as 2-point home dogs. Now the line here is sitting at 7 with SMU favored. So it's a 5-point swing from game A to game B here, folks. And also you got to look at the situation. I mean, SMU is not a good team. They're 9-18 straight up this year, and they're favored 7 points to a team that is 13-12. I mean, that should be a key point on this one. Also, you got to look at the matchup. The favorite is 4-1 against the spread in this matchup, and the home team is 5-2 against the spread in the last 7 meetings. So, with all that being said, I'm going to be going with the lackluster Mustangs on this one. SMU minus 6.5, 1-unit play. As I'm firing shots over the bow, trying to hit some bookies in their wallets. I mean, there's 2-3. We just banged out 2 3 o'clock plays.
There you go.
this is how we're going to start this off. I see 2-0 in my future, and let's keep this thing rolling along.
I love it, and I like that hat too. Shout out to that hat you got right there. I need me one of those.
Yeah, Viva did hook me up with some nice lids, and this one is so comfortable too that you don't feel any pressure on your forehead. I got a big head, so this thing works out nicely. All right, now we're gonna get in some of the later games, and I know Dabby has a look on this game, and I do as well.
Well, no, I don't. I haven't bet anything in this one.
Well, I mean, you have an opinion, I should say. Yeah. I have an official. Dabby has an opinion. I'm going to pass it to him on this one. It's Maryland, Nebraska. Maryland's going on the road after a big win over Purdue, number 3 this week. Pinnacle Bank Arena, Lincoln, Nebraska, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This thing tips off. What do you think of this game, Dabby?
And we kind of talked a little bit about it. I know Nebraska's been turning that corner, but this Maryland team, right now they're sitting pretty hot. They've won 6 of their past 7. Their only loss was on the road to Michigan State. They lost that game by 5. But you want to add like a little kudos to them. They took out Purdue, and it was. I know everybody saw that, but it was they handled them easily. I mean, it was a 14-point win, so it was a big win for them. But I kind of saw that coming, actually. You look at Maryland, they're putting up 70.7 points per game. That's 198th in college basketball. They shoot 45%, so 167th. So they do struggle a little bit, but they're still 32nd in adjusted efficiency. I don't know why I always fucking struggle with
I usually just say offensive efficiency and defensive efficiency, because when I throw the adjust in there, I stammer too.
It's like, but can't say it. Can't say
verbal
it
diarrhea.
Anymore.
Right.
Yeah. On defense, though, is where they've been outstanding. 62.4 points per game is what they're giving up. They're 24th in the country. They're allowing opponents to only shoot 41.8% from the floor, which is 78th. So just an outstanding defense. Where I was looking and leaning here, I was looking at Maryland in the first half, -2.5. I haven't bet it, though, like I was telling you backstage. And I don't know. I don't know what it is, man. Some days I'm not one of those cappers. And for everybody that follows me, I'll say this. I don't give you shit for content. I give you what my money's on. And if my money's not on it, I'm not going to sit up here and act like it is. I haven't bet this yet. I'm still leaning on it pretty heavy, but I haven't got to the window yet.
I mean, that's a good analysis there, and I can't disagree with you on Maryland. I mean, Maryland played a really egregious first half against Purdue, and then they just came out smoking in the second half and just buried them. But, I mean, when you're playing in Maryland, it's the toughest place in the Big Ten to play this year. I don't think they've lost a game in their home court. But now they're going on the road here versus this Nebraska team. I see it as a full game standpoint, and I know Dabby is more of the first half. He does play games as well, but I'm liking this one full game. Nebraska plus 5.5. I think the line is just short on this one in comparison to game 1. Now you got to look at Maryland. They're coming red hot, like Cabby said, 6-1 straight up last 7 games, and 5-2 against the spread in that span. But now you got to look at Maryland. They've won 3 out of the last 4 games straight up, and they're 3-1 against the spread in that span. Now Maryland's coming off that huge home win versus Purdue. We already discussed that. Storm the court type of game. Highs of highs. Now they're going to go into this lackluster opponent in Nebraska on the road on a Sunday, for that matter. But Maryland's defense is ranked 22nd in defensive efficiency and facing a Nebraska offense that's ranked 158th. So there is a mismatch there as far as the offense and the defensive side for that spot. But Nebraska can hold their own on the defensive side. They're ranked 63rd in defensive efficiency, and they're facing a Maryland offense that's ranked 173rd in field goal percentage and 126th in offensive rebounding. So I think they're going to be able to go back and forth on this game and keep the game really close, in my opinion. Now these teams did meet on January 28th. Maryland did get the victory 82-63 as 11.5-point favorites, but now you're seeing a 6-point line swing from game A to game B in favor of Nebraska. Now the line's short here, plus 5.5 for Nebraska. And I just feel like this is just one of those spots where you're gonna see a letdown for Maryland. I mean, coming off the big win, they're playing red hot, and I just see this team sleeping. And you can throw all the stats out the window when you're looking at situational plays like this, and the line is telling me that it's probably one of those situational plays. And I trust, and I'm trusting Nebraska to get it done here for the Cornhuskers, for the game. as an official. Give me Nebraska plus 5.5, 1 unit special.
Oh!
And we're slapping bookies right across the lips. And we got one more game to talk about. Nothing official on this one. Dabby does have an opinion on it. It's Oregon. It's Washington State. Oregon traveling all the way over to the rainy state where grunge metal was made. I don't think it's Seattle, but we'll say it for the record. Let's talk about this game, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. What are your thoughts on Oregon versus Washington State?
Man, real quick, shout out Sam Colmer, our guy out there in the chat, man. Appreciate you coming in here. I was glad he got on screen with us and came and kicked it. Great capper right there, man.
I did see that. I think I've seen Sam once on camera, but it wasn't officially on a broadcast.
Yeah, he came on one time with us live. It was dope. Yeah. But you look at this Oregon team, it's been so, they were struggling with, and I've said this so many times, people probably know it. I hate Oregon because they fuck me every time, which is why I haven't got to the window with them, because I like Oregon in this game. I like them on the money line. I like them either on the money line full game or first half plus 0.5 point, whatever it is you can get. They're 15-12 on the season, 13-13 against the spread. But this Oregon team's been like this, but they've been plagued by injuries, and they're finally getting healthy. They're finally getting back to form. All that being said, they have lost two games in a row. They fell to Washington on Wednesday in that overtime loss, 72-71. That puts the Ducks at 9-7 in conference. And they've also lost 3 out of their last 4 games. So right as everyone starts to think they're getting hot, they turn around and, fuck it up. But when you look at them on the road, they have gone 5-4-1 against the spread in their last 10 on the road. And this is just a Ducks team that I think hasn't reached their potential yet. I think they're still heading up. Washington State on the other side, they don't have a ton to play for here. 12-15 on the season. They had a big win over Oregon State, which is an easy win. I mean, Oregon State sucks on Thursday, but the Cougars in this game, I don't know. I just don't see them having much to play for here. Still a good basketball team. They've got a lot of talent out there. They do put up a lot of points, but with Oregon's defense here, I think that Oregon is a good look, especially needing to bounce back. Oregon, I'm not saying they have a good shot at making the tournament, but there's still an outside fucking chance if they could go on a run. But it has to happen now. This is it. And I'm sure somebody's telling them that in this locker room.
Just bringing the heat on a Sunday. Love the analytics. I want to get to some of these questions in the chat. I see Cleveland State get brought up on this one. I have an opinion on this one. I actually made an official play in the Slack. I'll tell you guys that I'm going to be on Cleveland State on this one, -2.5. And I wouldn't hate it. I see Michael says take them on the first half on that one as well. As I don't disagree with you. I think Cleveland State does get it done. I officially didn't do any write up on that one, but I can tell you I looked at this morning. I think it was a line correlation type of situation, and I felt that Cleveland was in a better spot than Northern Kentucky. So I'm going to be taking Cleveland State -2.5. I like that look. Keep bringing the plays on this one. Markel comes in here and says Boise State 1 to 10 point margin. That's a game I haven't looked at yet. I know it's one of the later games, so I felt like I had a little bit of time to step back and look at this. I know they're going against UNLV in that spot, so that's going to be an interesting game for sure. May have something on it later on today. We'll see how it goes. That game doesn't tip off till 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so just look out there. And if I make it official, I'll post it as an official play on Twitter for you guys.
Look, I'm gonna take Oregon in the first half. I'm very likely.
There you go.
I'm just gonna let everybody know that right now.
That is an official from Dabby. He's taken Oregon first half. What's the line on that one?
I got to get it. I haven't, like I said, I tell you guys as I bet, not just for picks. I tell you what my money's on. When this show ends, I'm going to go put my money on it. So I'll make sure I tweet it out.
Well, that's what we like to see. Shots fired.
It's probably plus 0.5 point. It's probably plus 0.5 point.
I would say so. It's a short. It's got to be like money line type of situation because was it Washington State's -1, I think. So.
Well, no, I mean, hold on. You would think money line, but don't diss that 0.5 point. I take that shit and I'll get a win with it.
Oh, so you get a tie. You get a tie and a tie.
Yeah, I'll take that tie win all the time. This shit goes in. I had Kansas State plus 0.5 point the other day in the first half. They covered that and then got their ass beat full game. Yeah, it's plus 0.5 point, -104.
Whoa, that's what I like here. So To break it down, let me tell you this. We're gonna recap the picks now that Debbie is now officially on Oregon first half. But just to break it down real quick, everything's popping off right now. So hopefully you got the lines on this one. Georgetown plus 5.5 for me as my dog of the day.
That's gonna make my dog bark.
Yeah, I got the SMU minus 6.5. That kicks off right now. And then I'm also on Nebraska plus 5.5. And those are the 3 plays. And of course, Dabby is going to be on Oregon first half. Plus, I guess you take the 0.5 that the books are giving you. So just take it like that. So that's going to do it for this edition of the Sunday show. And I see people in here. And I want to call out Free Mind. And he's like 14 people watching, 15 people, 16 people watching this live right now. Hit the like button. It's right there. It's one click, one shot. And then if you're not subscribed to the channel, you might as well do that as well. And hit the bell so you know when we always go live with the picks that pays. We didn't do too shabby yesterday, if I recall, on some of the picks that we gave out yesterday. I think Auburn did let us down, but that's okay. We had a pretty electric show besides that point. And guess what? We're going to sweep the damn board today. I can feel it in my bones. So there we go. That's going to be the show. Dabby, want to leave them with some thoughts, some prayers, some comments?
Pray for me to win all my bets. Thank you guys for coming out as a comment. And, we don't have shit without you. Everything we do up here is because we like to do it with you guys in the chat. I like to see what you guys are on. It helps me think of where my money's going to go. So we appreciate every single one of you guys out there. We wouldn't do it without you. So thank you guys for showing out and turning up.
That's right. We love you guys all. We'll be back again next weekend for more Breaking Ankles content. And also I'll be doing a lot of daily shows. Late Night Bangers is going to be continuation all the way through. Shoot, we may even pop off some day stuff. Who knows? You just gotta. That's why you gotta click the notification bell so you know when we always go live. So that's it, folks. Let's win some cash. Let's cash some tickets, and as always, let's keep dancing.